What up? What up? Good morning. Let's get it, man. Got news at 10. See what market open looks like. Right now we're bouncing out of this 1 hour. Should be an interesting day. That would probably be what I would anticipate next, but it could just keep going higher. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see. We're going to be using a lot of standard deviations to once we get past all-time highs here to figure out our take profit levels and things like that. So it'll be fun. Appreciate the follow. Nice, Zach. What was the? I think I saw the setup you probably took. This one right here, basically, long up to there, taking out these highs. Not sure, Jalen. Oh, did you? Okay, that was even better move in terms of total points. 41. This little tap back is where I would have gotten in. I was watching it. I would have gotten in on this tap back, targeting these highs, so I would have taken profit probably right here. So 22 points. Not. I mean, it wouldn't have been a bad trade. It's just pre-market. I'm trying really hard to stick to my rules. Good for you though, Jalen. We're not totally sure about the bias, man. We're delivering out of this 1 hour right here. Trying to. We're gonna wait for the market to open, and then we got news at 10. We'll see what market. We're gonna try to catch a. Typically, you get a manipulation move on the news, and then whatever takes place after that is kind of what I'm looking to catch. I was on my funded, so I went conservative. Dude, 300. Are you? What firm are you with? What firm is that funded with? Did you say that was a take profit or a top step? Apex. Okay. So, dude, if you think about it, Zach, that's all you need to make. That's actually $50 more than you need to make in terms of being able to, if you make that every day for the next 8 days, you can take a max payout. After you reach the buffer, you got to get to the buffer first. 52,600 is or 54,600 is the level that you can take. That's the level where I would take 2,000 out. That's the max payout. But if you do the 250 every 8 days, every day for 8 days, you're hitting that every 8 days. So that's solid, bro. Nice job. Yeah, Danny, I could see that. I could see it taking out maybe Asia, London, and then maybe Asia before it makes the move higher. But we got this big 1 hour here. We'll see if it respects it. Exactly, man. Yeah, smart. We got these 4 hour gaps here underneath. We got an inversion. Got a gap in here right at Asia. And then this much larger, this is the new week opening gap that we filled. Flipped it to the upside, I guess. Or no, we're just still respecting it. So we'll see. Goal is 10 funded this coming month. You can do it, man. You can do it. Stay disciplined. It's doable. He's going to look for a short after the 4-hour high. Okay. I hear you. Yeah, I didn't take any trades on that price action, man. That was ugly. Appreciate the follow, Joey. I go to school in North Carolina, UNC. Good old Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels. The Tar Holes. But hey, man, no rush. That's going to happen. It might not be exactly every 8 days, you know what I mean? But there's no rush. It's a marathon. I'm not sure, Christian. We're, out, you know, based on market or geopolitical circumstances, I would say bullish, but we'll see. I would expect some manipulation first, maybe sweeping this London low and then Asia low. But we got some news, red folder news at 10, so we're gonna be really patient. We're gonna have to see something super juicy to take a trade before then. Yeah, exactly, man. It's all. I mean, PJ PJ always says, "Don't trade the news, trade the market." Which so many times I've been like, "Oh man, we got this news. We're about to be bullish," and then for some reason we're not. So you just got to take what the market gives you. Daddy TT, yeah, man, I can relate to that. I did the same thing when I first started, bro. I lost a bunch of money, and I had no clue what I was doing. So that any 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 education is going to cost you money. You know what I mean? For the most part, whether it's time or actual physical dollars. But what I would recommend is paper trading before you use any other money. Don't use your personal capital. There's too many prop firm options for every sort of trading, whether it's futures or crypto or I don't know about crypto, but what's it called, forex. So don't trade your own capital when you can trade other. When you can go through prop firms until you've been like profitable for a long period of time. Yeah, too many prop firms, man, to waste your own personal capital. You can blow $2,500 for, in Apex case, $18. Cost you $18 to blow 2,500. Appreciate the follows. I'm studying economics. balance. It goes off your total balance. So whatever your peak, it's whatever your peak balance was, and that includes the trade that you're currently in. So if you're in a trade that goes up 1,000 and then drops 500, that's 500 away from your drawdown. Just pushing here. We got a little manipulation, and then we just got to push. Good job, Steven. Appreciate the follows. I'm working on a Discord. It won't be. It's not going to be some paid like course or anything, but I'm going to have a place where people can kind of hang out and post their trades and talk about ideas and stuff. I don't want it to turn into like a. I want to keep it professional, and I want to keep it fun, but serious. What's up, man? I'm doing good. I had a good weekend. Had a really good weekend. So, back at it. Try to make some money. Yeah, that's a $2,500 loss then, Max. Unfortunately. And if it's a 50K account, that blows the account. That should have been your max drawdown. Yeah, I'm working on something, Steven. We'll hopefully sometime this week we can make something happen. Did you guys have a good weekend? What did everybody get into? Hopefully some family time. Golf, work. Yeesh. Golf sounds nice. You pretty good, Max? Appreciate the follows. Friend's birthday coming this weekend. 40th, man, that's a big one. 80 scene, that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. If he's turning 40, what is he born in 85? 84? What's the best app to place trades and best platform to keep up with win losses? Heath, prop firms keep up with your win losses, but I use Tradeovate to execute my trades, and then TradingView, which is what you're looking at. This is what I chart my trades on. I don't like trading because it hurts. I've seen those gym shirts. 85, okay. Yeah, I'll check them out when you post them. It'd be cool. Heath, I wouldn't be, I don't know if I've said this to you or to someone else before. I wouldn't be focused on trading I mean this with all the love in my heart, but if you're asking that question, you're not ready to trade yet, because that shows how new you are to this, and I would not start trading unless it's on paper until you've done some more, invested more in the educational side of things, because otherwise you're just going to blow money away. Hey, TikTok promoting your live today. Yeah. They're not messing with me. News in 20 minutes. Typically, yeah, I wait for news. I would have to see something pretty dang juicy to take it, and I would want the trade to be over with before the news comes out. I would not want to hold a trade through the news for multiple reasons. One of which is I'm pretty sure that Apex Funded doesn't like you trading their news or using their accounts to trade news. I don't remember if that's true or not, but there are some firms that will not that's against the rules. So just in order to not have to keep track of it and just to protect myself, there's too many other good opportunities to trade rather than flipping a coin and taking a chance on trading news. Do you think it's going to dump? It could. I think we got a lot of liquidity lower here. Um, Down here, we're also pushing through a. We would have to come pretty low. I think if we do dip lower, we're gonna reject back. I don't see it pushing all the way through this 4 hour gap, but you never know, man. Like that's just a guess. What goes up must come down. That's right. You would think. Steven, if you caught a nice trade off of market open, you're up 400, man. I'd call it a day. I know that might not seem like a lot to a lot of some people, but if you're up, man. That's a lot. If you do that every day, you're eating well. I wouldn't risk giving it back if you're happy with that. Appreciate the follow, Ryan. Appreciate all the likes too. Appreciate that. Hey, that's a green day right there, John. It's a green day, man. Kona, I'm waiting for the news, man. I think it could go either way. Yeah, yes, is dropping pretty heavily there. We'll see. We'll see. ES is really taking a. That's a that's a big drop on ES. Holy cow! It's headed towards London low there. Yeah, could just look at that. Right when we looked it away for 2 seconds and just. Oh, that never mind. That was 15 minute chart. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'd say we got a pretty strong indicator there that NQ is going to push lower. We'll see though. They've decoupled a lot recently. So we've had days where they're like completely decoupled. So I'm gonna wait and see what this does. Again, this isn't out of my setup range. This isn't going to be something that I'm going to just take a chance on. I want to see my setup before I'm willing to take a trade. Appreciate the follow-up, Kona. I think if you invert this 5, you're going to definitely see a London get taken out. You had a small little breaker right there. Were we gapped up at all right there? Yeah, touch back, little touch back, and shorter. We'll see what this does. Sorry, I super zoomed in there. You didn't get to see what I was doing. We'll see what this does. What's ES looking like? Yeah, ES took a dump. Shorted. Gotta follow our rules, man. That's not in accordance with our rules. Morning. Everyone's shorting's about to get liquidated. Hey, they're short from the top, man. They made some money. Take shorts. Go for it, bro. You first. Very well could be. Shorts could be in play. I think you will get to see maybe a sweep down to take out these lows, and then I want to see what it does. Again, we're waiting on the news. Waiting on the news at 10. Yeah, jolts at 10 o'clock. Red folder news. About to invert this 5 in a minute and 45 seconds. Could invert this 5 minute and make its way down to London or Asia. Yeah. Hamza. Okay. They got shorts stacked up there at 24. Man, that's way up there. That would be ridiculous. That would be sick if it went all the way up there. Uh, I don't wait on a specific time, Jay, but we do have news at 10, so I don't want to be in a trade when news happens. I also would like to trade the action after the news because that's typically volume's going to increase around that time. We'll see. We'll see. It could be bullish. Very well could be. Take out this liquidity and then dip lower. Man, that's pretty big. Price moves so fast there. I forgot what that's called. BIP, I think, or something. Or VIP. Just needed to fill it back up, and then it's going to go lower here potentially. Easy 4K. Nice, Nova. Hey, nice. Nice, nice. Yo, yo. What it do? Can you make a video by any chance that explains what trading is? What do you mean by that? Didn't trade yesterday. Did not trade. No news. Didn't want to take a chance on that. Morning, morning. Thoughts on Snowflake? What's that? No clue what that is. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate the follows. This 1 hour gap is holding us up here. We need it to go lower and sweep this before we can get our setup. Would be great if we can just get a strong flush here. Finish this move. Yeah, that would be ideal, Aiden. Yeah, it could down to 516, 1650. Very easily could go down there. That's where London is, or excuse me, Asia. It could. There's no telling what it'll do. We're just gonna wait and see. We got 3 minutes and 20 seconds until news. Ugh. Today's the last day, by the way, of Apex being 90% off. So, not sure if you guys want to take advantage of that. Yep, Don, it is. I wouldn't say it unless I meant it. Thank you, though. Today's the 29th. It ends at midnight. Okay. If you say so. Giving you the answer. You don't have to argue with me. Oh, my bad. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to figure out why my picture just went away. There it is. Yeah, it definitely ends the 29th. I'm looking at the email right here, dude. People just like to run their mouth. Good news. All right, let's see if this wants to go higher here. Yeah, it didn't do anything. It is good news, but it didn't. I mean, we didn't get much of a reaction out of that. Oh no, it's not good news. The CB consumer confidence is good. Jolts is not. Jolts is down. Yeah, I think we sweep London and then potentially go higher. We'll see though. We're gonna wait and see. No, I did not take a trade. We are bouncing on a 1 hour here, and we got a 4 hour below that, 4 hour inversion below that. So it'll be, if we do go lower here, man, that's a lot of resistance. So we'll see what happens. Man, I told you to take shirts. Hey, if you had said long, you had a 50% chance of being right on that too. We go off of more than that. I wait for my setup. I don't just take random trades. I hope you made some money on that though. I hope you took the trade. Sounded like a lot of people in the chat did. Absolutely. Yeah. When you start to deviate, that's when you take too many trades and lose money. We need this just to dump. It's hard with those gaps below it though. Pushing through a 1 hour here. I'm about to flip these 5 minutes over here. Boom. That might be the pressure we can Yeah, I think we get some pressure down to at least London low here, but I'd be surprised if it goes lower than that. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see, Zach. I mean, I'm. That would be my gut feeling, but I like to be very careful here. This is not the cleanest price action. Look at all these wicks here, wicking up, down. What's up, Black? We're trading. This is NASDAQ futures right here. Um, we bounce around time frames. We don't rely solely on one. We use the higher time frames to get a directional bias, but we wait, bounce around, see if our setup presents itself on a anything on the lower, like 15 and lower, 15-minute and lower. Typically, we like to enter a trade on the one if we can to get a better entry. Appreciate the follows. Right now, this is definitely a hands-off zone. Absolutely, man. I mean, this would be a breaker with a setup here, but we haven't swept London. We didn't sweep anything. Yeah, nothing to. How often do I live stream? Every day, every trading day. Get in that long before it moves away without you. That's a terrible way to think, man. We do not FOMO in like that. We wait for confirmation, and then we go. The fact that this has not swept this London low here, I'm not super convinced in this trade. Our setup requires a sweep of a major liquidity level first, and this didn't sweep really anything. I mean, I guess you could say it swept all of this, but we want to see a touch into London there if we can before we'll get in. But this is a decent setup. I mean, this would be a nice setup. If we had just swept London, this would be the setup to take. Exactly, Zach. Bear strike, reverse double hammer candle. The number that I have, Zach, is for London. Yeah, for London, it's 23 541.50. If we do get into a trade, we're going to target this buy side up here. That would be full TP up there. If this just starts pushing, it's just how it goes, man. Breaker block is a high, low, higher high, lower low, and then a higher high. So it's best way I think of it is the last leg up before a sweep lower, or the last leg down before a sweep higher. Does that make sense, Kona? More like escaped. Hey, if you're green or break even, then there's nothing wrong with that, man. I appreciate all the follows and the likes. Really would like to see a dump down lower here. I don't know if we're going to get it. It was a pretty strong rejection off of that 1 minute. We are inside of a bearish 5 minute, two bearish 5 minute gaps here. 5 minute inversions. Hey, 270 on the day is good, man. Don't give it back. Hang on to it. You talking about Asia low? Asia low is down here at 23,516.50. London is at 23,541.50. Could have taken that long, but again, we didn't get a sweep, so it can't be mad about letting this run away. Cannot be mad about letting this run away. If it does, I mean, it could easily hit this in reverse and go lower. If we had taken this trade, we've been right here on this tap back, and it would be up 21 points. But again, we didn't get all the things on our checklist, so. It is delivering off the 1 minute orb. Yeah, go for it, man. It is delivering out of a high time frame PD array, though. It is delivering out of this 1 hour. So, I mean, that is, if you don't get a sweep, that's another confluence that you could use, is delivering out of a high time frame PD array, which that is right there. So, realistically, I could have justified a trade here, but I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I didn't take it. I appreciate the follow. No, I came back. It's right back where I would have entered. Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't read your full comment before I said something. Yeah, potentially, or it's just gonna blow through this and go down to London. That's why I didn't get into it. It could again tap right in here and keep going, but we'll see. Nah, Ishmael hadn't taken anything. Depending on what your settings are, Mahish, is that how you say your name? My my ICT kill zone is set to start an hour before the actual London session officially opens. So on mine, it's 2 a.m. Eastern time. So the low is right there at 2:30 Eastern time. Um, but if you're starting at 3, even if it starts at 3, I don't think we've swept. Yeah, even if you started at 3, we haven't swept. London swept at 6:30 a.m. PST? No, it did not. This would be London low if you're even if you're starting from official, and on NQ we have not gone that low. So yeah, it's not it. Yeah, like I was saying, Nathan. Either way, it hasn't swept. Even if your algorithm or your charting starts it at 3 o'clock or 3 a.m., it still hasn't gone that low yet. That would be right here at 350, or I mean at 545. It hasn't gone that low yet. You should not full port if you're one day away from a payout. If you're one day away from a payout, you should be very patient. Ishmael, I'm looking for a sweep of this London low and maybe even Asia, but at least London low, and then we're going to target these highs up here. Right now, we're respecting this breaker. There you go. Hey, Alex, record that, post it. I'm going to watch that. I use the rectangle. Are you asking like what tool do I use? I just use the rectangle tool. If you're asking how I identify it, it's the definition is like a low, a higher high, a lower low, a higher high, something like that. So you got a low, a high, a lower low, higher high, and then that's basically the way I think of it is the last leg up before a sweep lower, or the last leg down before a sweep higher. Yeah, we're respecting that breaker here. No, we're not in a trade. How do you scale out? You would sell 7 of them back if you're in a long, or buy 7 of them back if you're in a short, and then leave some runners. So you can scale, because you can scale out. Because you can scale out. If you're in one mini, then you're either in or you're out. You're not. You can't take partials. I think this wants to sweep. It's just a question of if it's going to do it on this move or not. How do you fight FOMO? You got to not fight it enough times and get your ass handed to you, and get tired of that. And it builds something up in your brain where it's like, I don't want to do that again. It's kind of like getting spanked as a kid. You know, it's like, I think I'll not do that. So you always trade micros typically, yeah. Unless I'm on an eval. If I'm on an eval, I'll do 1 to 3 minis, depending, maybe even 4, depending on how A+ the setup is. What time do you get off the charts? Typically around 11. I'll take a trade, maybe 2, and then I'll get off after 11:30. If I take that trade much before then, I'll stay on the live and still, talk to you guys and walk through what I'm seeing and hear what you guys are seeing. Yeah, you'll learn some quicker than others. It takes some people longer to learn, but you will learn to not FOMO. So we should build the buffer with 5 micros. If you're starting at a 2,500 drawdown, then yeah, right, 500,000. Yeah. Yeah, if you have 2,500 of drawdown on a funded to begin, then you can start with 5 micros. What's FOMO? Fear of missing out. So you think the trade's running away without you, or that you're not going to make any money, so you just click the button to get in, and you end up losing. Jordan, that's exactly what I would be looking for. Yeah, potentially Asia, because that's below it too. But you're exactly right. That's what I'm looking for. This would be a good this in terms of just structure. This is a good setup for a long. This is what I want to see after it sweeps London, though. It's really protecting or respecting this breaker. Got all this 5-minute above it, pushing price down. Also got a couple 5 minutes here, keeping it up. So got a 15 down here too. You're in a bullish 15. You got a bullish 15 inversion below it. So everything's trying to push price up, and I think just market tendency wants to sweep London first. But we'll see. All right, Zach, take it easy, man. Have a good one. Yeah, you got all that bullish pressure that we're sitting in. I think this could be the move. This is why we didn't FOMO into that long. If you're on Apex, I think you have to do you have to build the buffer back to whatever your drawdown is, which is 2,500 plus 100. So 2,600 total is what you have to make, and then after that, you can take a payout at your max payout with a 2,000 profit on top of that. So if your account balance gets to 54,600, that's when you can take a max payout. TPT. Oh, okay. So the drawdown is 2,500. Anything after that 2,500, I think is eligible for withdrawal. You do get a penalty if you take a withdrawal smaller than $500, though. So here's the push lower. ICT, kill zone, and pivots. And there's my, I can't show you my times, but there we go. There's my times. I'll screenshot that. We just swept London, now we're pushing back up. No, Rummer, you can't. You got to hit the buffer first. I would take profit. Don't let trades bounce back. You know what I mean? Like if you gets to a point where it looks like it's doing a little bit of a retrace before going higher, when you're in a trade, sucks to suck. You got to just take your profits. Potentially look for a re-entry of on a smaller size, or you could percentage out of the trade. You could, if you're in 10 micros, which you shouldn't be, but let's say you're in 5 micros, which you should be. You could take 3 off and leave 2 running. You could do something like that. So that's what I would recommend. This is in Q, Pete. Well, the entry would be great if what we get right here is a strong push and creating a fair value gap, and then it retests it and respects it. That would be where my entry would be, is on the retest. Is that a 4-minute breaker or a 3-minute? 4-minute. Yeah, Pete, it very well could, man. That's the that we're gonna need some good confirmation that we're going higher here, because you do have Asia right here at 23,516.50. We just inverted that one. This is looking good for the upside here. I might take a stab at this. In fact, I am. This could be a hasty move, but we're going to take a stab. We're going to put stops below the wick down here. that there. I'm copy trading 20 accounts right now. 7 of them are funded. Need a really strong push here. Somebody sacrifice. Yeah, we're long here, little boat. Uh, this is NASDAQ, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Consistency. How do you have the colored zones, the squares? I I make those. It's the rectangle marking tool with TradingView. We need this to push here. We're the first TPs. I think that's all. Is that all-time highs? Yeah. But we need a strong push. This is just meandering. We need. It's touched back and filled this 1 minute. It needs to just go now. We're in one right now. Need this to take off. Come on. Take off. Like a big bird. TP's up here. I'll put a... Need a strong push here. Come on. Put a magnet. Come on. Where's your TP? It's up here. I've kept. You mean in terms of time or how many payouts? This is just failing right there. What is it hitting? Still just got to push through this 5 minute. I'm going to close that right there. We're down $10.40. I don't like how that just failed right there. I'm looking at the order flow and it just like died off. If we invert this 2 right here, then I'll get back in. I'll take that offer right now. We're down $10.40 off that trade. Angel, we're down $10.40 on the day, man. Order flow, as soon as it hit that 2 minute gap, it completely died off. So, I mean, bullish order flow did. So we're going to wait. This could want to go lower and take Asia. Yeah, Ray-Bans, it's going to have to push. It's going to have to push through some heavy resistance to go higher here. But I think if market structure allows, I think it'll be able to do that. Time and payouts. The most payouts I've taken with one account is 3. And I don't think that's bad. I mean, $6,000 on a less than $200 investment. That's kind of a good ROI. Time period though, month and a half, 2 months. What was your confirmation for a long? We had a sweep of London low. We had a 4 minute breaker here. We had a 1 minute fair value gap here, and we also had a 1 minute inversion up here that's now been disrespected, so it disappeared. So we also have a clear draw on liquidity, which would be this up here. But right now we're just some consolidation going on. We have a 2 minute gap inside of here, inside of this breaker. If we flip this 2 minute gap, then I'm probably going to re-enter this long. But I think we might want to take Asia first. That's what it's acting like. I'm glad I got out of the trade. Maya, yeah. There's what do we got tomorrow? We got non-farm employment at 8:15, advanced GDP quarter over quarter at 8:30. We have some orange folder news at 10. We got some news at 2. So tomorrow, yeah, we're chocked full. There's a FOMC press conference tomorrow. So yeah, it's my main source of income. Celestial. It's my main source of income at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, I still think we're going to push for all-time highs too. The question is, do we take out Asia down here first, or do we just automatically just go right here? Appreciate all the follows. Nah, man, the fake accounts. Well, it's so funny that I reported them from. I have another account that is actually me, but it's I don't use it like this one. So I went on that one because they had the fake accounts have this account blocked. So I went on the other account and was reporting them, and TikTok was saying, "No, there's nothing wrong here." I'm like, dude, how are you gonna tell me that? take another shot at this here. Stops are going to be below this 1 minute. What is this? Oh, shit. Around 11. Celestial. It's not what we wanted. We inverted that too, and then to the upside, and then completely disrespected it. I'm not moving stops. We're just going to let it do what it wants to do here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Thanks for your input. I hope you're short if you feel that way. Yeah, this is long, so on NQ. Every time somebody comes in here and fades me like that, I always end up making money. So I hope that happens again. I'm like 4 for 4. Maybe it's time I lose, but we'll see. Do you let the trade outcome determine how the rest of your day goes? What do you mean by that? Like emotionally? I do my best not to, but I'd be lying if I said sometimes it doesn't affect me. Yeah, it's super hard to not feel that way, but you got to kind of become a robot. If you follow your rules and you lose, then you can only be so upset. Well, we just swept London and we had a good setup for longs here, so that's the reason we're in this. We had a sweep of London. We had a V-shaped recovery. We created several fair value gaps on the way up, although they're not being respected the way that we would hoped. This 1 minute down here is still being respected. So, in terms of the setup that we look for, this had all the criteria. This met the criteria. The only problem is you still got London or Asia low down here. So price could want to go lower and try to take that out. This is just choppy BS right here. But hopefully we get some strong action to the upside. What's my TP? It's up there at all-time high. What are my recommendations for being profitable? Stay patient and do a lot of education and paper trading before you get too heavy into it. But once you're trading prop firms and you're passing evals, keep your sizing at a legitimate level. Don't over leverage, and stay patient. Don't take too many trades. Don't revenge trade. Don't FOMO. This is bouncing between this 1 minute and this inversion. I wouldn't be surprised if it dumps here. Yeah, we're going to dump here. This is going to get stopped out. Yeah, if your set goal was 2 trades and you're up on the day, call it a day, man. If you've taken that, if you're up for the day on 1 trade, I would call it a day. The more exposure you have in the market, the more chance you have to give that money back. Boom, stopped out. If I'm profitable only trading 3-6 times a month, should I just stick to it? You gotta, prop firms have a set minimum trade per week or per month. It depends on the rules of the firm. But yeah, the fewer trades, the better, man. If you can stay profitable doing that. Look at these wicks. Yeah. So the rule of thumb that we have is if we have a losing trade, the next trade that we take, win or lose, is the last trade of the day. So we're going to wait for a prime setup, and we're going to stick to our rules. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Just call it a day. If this isn't what you're looking for, which this is not what anybody should be looking for right here. This consolidation, just up, down, wiki, wiki. Appreciate the follows. Looks like we could be pushing towards Asia, but we'll see. Yeah, previous day levels, we got all that. What was it before? 200? Yeah, it's 200, I think. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to be competitive, man. All these firms are competing with each other for your business, so that's a good thing. How can one better learn to spot? A lot of it comes from experience, just being in, paying attention to the charts. All right, swept Asia low. This is where we just rocket up to the moon now. Just blew two accounts. Were they funded or evals? Nice, Pete. Damn. That's frustrating, man. That is very frustrating. You'll bounce back, though. You were long on that too, Tristan? What happens when you blow a funded account? Depends on the firm you're with. With TPT, you can pay to reopen it for like $600, but yeah, you're cooked. Yeah, I was long on that. We lost 500 on that. We're down 500 right now. I'd like to see this candle close. I'd like to see a candle close below this rather than just grab it like that. That's a lot more convincing that the market is happy with the sweep. No, 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 no. You don't owe the money. You don't owe the money. No, it's what you spent on the eval that you're out. So if the eval was and the activation fee. So if the eval and activation fee total was like $200, you're just out $200. You don't pay back what the account's worth. That would be nuts. These prop firms would have no customers if they made people do that. What's your average P&L that I'd be satisfied with? I mean, I don't focus on that. I focus on the setup and the strategy, and I'm happy if I stuck to my strategy. Like, believe it or not, I'm not too mad about losing that trade just now because there was a good setup, and other than having Asia low down here, which is always a risk, Uh, I'm not too upset with that. So any winning trade that my strategy works and I stuck to my rules, and those are what I focus on. I don't focus on the P&L. I think if you focus too much on that, or even at all, really, it's in your mind, then it's gonna factor in you cutting trades short, or not trusting yourself, not trusting your trades. Yeah, I saw that too, Tristan, and I think it was a good. Like I said, I don't think it was a bad trade. Ethan, it's important because those are major liquidity levels. So they're levels where price wants to go. It's basically letting you know when we mark those out, we're keeping an eye for price to push from those. Typically, price moves from one major liquidity level to the next. All right, have a good one. Uh, According to TradeZilla, my average winning trade is $672. Lawton, here you go. Took me from a 91 to 84. Hey, it happens, man. Appreciate the follow, Victor. Got stopped out. Were you long? Or were you short? JP, I've made enough to justify continuing to do it. Again, you don't focus on the money. I mean, obviously, you want to know that somebody's making money if you're looking to do what they're doing. But in terms of your own trading, if you focus too heavily on the money, it's gonna mess up your psychology, and you're not gonna progress as fast as you could otherwise. We haven't gotten a sign that there's a reversal for longs yet on this movement right here. So I wouldn't be. I'd be sitting tight. Like I said, I kind of want to see a full candle close below this in order to be convinced that this wants to go. That it's fully satisfied with the sweep of this level. Yeah, we took one trade. We're down right now. It did not play out. We were long right in here, and then ended up getting stopped out just below this 1 minute. Oh, this is the 1 minute time frame. I'm 32. Calling it a day. All right, good move. Hope you made some money. 100 points, nice. We just inverted that one there. JP, my advice would be check out YouTube. There's a series called the ICT 2022 Mentorship. Uh, that's a good place to start. And there's also another channel called T Trades, which basically teaches his same concepts, but in a more palatable way that's not as hard to listen to. What can I teach you? Stick around, man. There's plenty to learn. Uh, I don't hold myself out to be some sort of mentor or anything like that. I'm not. I haven't been. I've only been doing this 2 years, so most of the guys that you're going to learn from have been doing it a lot longer than that. But I can give you a basic rundown of what I do every day to get ready. I mark out the chart, mark the major liquidity levels, uh, check the news, read the news, make sure there's some economic news that I'm interested in on the economic calendar. Uh, these are funded. These are funded. Don't do that, Tristan. And then I wait for, once market opens, I wait to see a major liquidity level get swept, and I wait to see my setup. Once I see my setup, I take a trade. Economics. Celestial economics. Ain't no revenge trading happening over here. This is Apex. Apex. No, to be honest, man, there's not a whole lot that I've learned related to economics. Uh, I mean, not that's taught in school that directly has correlated to any of this yet. Hopefully, Pete. No, Max, I record all my trades. They've asked me for proof of trades twice, and I just submitted the videos to them. And but they walk you through what they want to see. I mean, it's not if you're pulling some funny business, you're in for some denials. But or if you're unprepared, but it's best just to record your if you're using a computer to use some sort of software to record your chart here and your trades. It's basically they just want to make sure that you're not using like a some sort of cheating mechanism. We need a really this isn't a very convincing sweep of this level here. So yeah, we need this to I want to be convinced. That's the thing, man. Those are I aced both those courses, and you get an idea of supply and demand and all that. I mean, I guess you get a general concept of economics. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to have a general concept. But for me, I grew up in a house where that was kind of something that just a learning. It was a byproduct of the way I was brought up, things we talked about and stuff. So to me, I didn't really like learn a whole lot in those courses that I wasn't already familiar with. But uh, I haven't. I don't. I can't think of anything that I've learned where it's like I've taken it and it's directly translated to something I'm doing in trading. I mean, paying attention to current events and all that is important, but that's trade deals and things like that. If you're looking at those obviously affect trading. But in terms of taking setups and your psychology, taking a psychology course, to be honest with you, would be a lot more beneficial than most any other course that I've taken because it learning your brain and learning why you do what you do is way more important than like you can learn market structure and what you're looking for pretty quickly. The reason most people fail is they can't get a hold of their emotions and their psychology. If you can master that, you're already 90% of the way there. How do I learn? Uh, well, you can join these lives. That or you can join somebody else's and watch them. I think also YouTube. Uh, YouTube. Yeah, Nathan. YouTube. There's a series called ICT 2022 Mentorship. Check that out. That's a really good place to start. Look up T-Trades too. He's got some really fundamental, like, base videos in there that'll teach you, like, what are futures, what is future trading. Um, just if you have no clue where to start, that's a good place. TJR is I mean, it just depends. Like, for some people, he resonates more. I went through his series. I think that there's better, more serious learning channels out there. I like TJR. His personality's funny, but I would not recommend trading like he does. He's kind of reckless in my opinion, but he's made a ton of money, so it's hard to argue with it. Yeah, no shade at all to TJR. He's crushing it, dude. Me personally, though, I like to be a little more disciplined. Yeah, he has big losing days. I mean, he's obviously got big winning days too, but I watched him lose like 83,000 the other day. I just I think that's a little reckless. There's no reason to have that big of a loss in a day. I've watched him sit there and take like five back to back to back trades, and I'm like, dude, that's not. I personally don't do that. Yeah, we swept Asia pretty good. Or I mean, yeah, Asia pretty good. He's having fun, man. I don't blame him. He's living the dream. Uh, watched that ICT 2022 mentorship series. I also joined a Discord, a premium Discord that a guy named PJ Trades runs, and I learned a lot in there. Also, not just about what to look for on the charts, but how to be disciplined, how to be patient, how to get your psychology in check. I need to fix this. John, that's better than losing, though, man. I mean, I know that's frustrating to do. I've done that. I've closed trades earlier, not taking them, and it's like, dang, it just that would have been a perfect play. I had it figured out in my head, but don't be mad about that, man. You take courage in the fact that you know that you're seeing price well and you're seeing it well. You know what I mean? Don't use that as like a I was right those other two times. Now I'm gonna get into this one. I think it's you got to trust yourself and be comfortable with the trade. If you're not comfortable, don't take it. Appreciate the follows. I need a drink. 6'5", Steven. Don't short me. Appreciate the follows. I'm not, man. I'm not. Not yet. Have a amazing girlfriend that I'm hoping that one day that happens with. Bro, it's got its pros and cons, Pete. It's got its pros and cons, man. Clothes are hard. Clothes are hard. Cars, fun cars are hard. Hard to keep muscle mass on such a large frame. Hey, only 6 foot. 6 foot is well above average, man. That's a good height. Bro, it's C-Bum but trades, dude. I wish. C-Bum is ideal, man. His physique. I appreciate that, Celestial. Appreciate that. What are some what's some advice for people wanting to get into trading but honestly not sure where to start? YouTube. YouTube is huge, man. Doing what you're doing right now, popping into people's lives and watching, seeing what they have going on. You have no clue who I am, so I might not know how to trade. So I'd be careful of who you watch. Be sure that they know what they're doing. But spend a lot of time on YouTube and learn on there, get a foundation, and then back test. You can either back test or forward test with paper trading. I would recommend doing that. A lot of people say a couple weeks. I'd say 3 months of paper trading of consistent green days before you hop into a prop firm. And once you hop into a prop firm, keep your risk low when you first start out. Yeah, ICT 2022 mentorship helps a lot of people. It helped me a lot. Some people are like crap talkers of ICT, whatever. I mean, my theory is, I've said this a lot to other people. I think that there's tons of different trading approaches out there that are successful. Some more than others, but all of them are going to require you to get your mental discipline in check before you're truly successful. So whatever you do, remember that psychology is one of the hardest and most important parts of this. I'm down 500 right now on the day across 7 funded accounts, and a lot of people would be really, really bummed by that, and they'd either revenge trade or be emotional about it. I'm indifferent. Obviously, I would have liked my trade to work out, but I'm happy that I took a trade based on a setup that I saw, and I don't feel like I took a bad trade. So if you get that psychology in check, you'll help yourself out. Yeah, Justin's good. True, Ishmael. I think, you know, paper trading's all well and good, but there really is no emotional ties to it, or you don't get to practice the emotional control like you do on a prop firm. The sting of blowing an account will teach you some lessons that you need to learn in order to be successful. They're all linked. They're linked together. Copy traded. Yeah, Evan, overtrading will definitely cut heavily into your profits, man. I'm not long right now, Evan. I'm not anything. We're just looking for a setup. You mean like my own personal capital? Oh, my bad. I see you, Evan. Sorry. Are you talking about my own personal capital, or are you talking about like have I been moved to a live account with a prop firm? No, I think you need to wait 9 to 12 months at least of consistent, uh, strong payouts before you consider trading your own personal capital. Never traded micros. Hey, whatever you're comfortable with, man. I think the strategy behind micros is good. The only thing is more they obviously eat up more commission than just trading one mini. Trading 10 micros is gonna the commission's gonna be more because there's so many different contracts. But in order to be able to take partials, you kind of have to do that unless you're trading a lot of minis, like 3 or 4 minis. Yeah, we'll see, Zachary. I don't necessarily disagree with that. That's a good take. Trading all time highs can be a little tricky. What do I think about scalping? It's a effective strategy for a lot of people. It's a very effective strategy. I'm not familiar with how to go about it the right way. I mean, I know what the concept of scalping is, but in terms of like having rules for yourself and stuff like that, I don't know how you do that with scalping because one of my rules is to keep my trades low, to 1 or 2 trades a day. So obviously you got to take a few more than that with scalping. So I'm not familiar with it from a strategy perspective. But I know some people that they do well scalping. Yeah, I did too. I mean, I didn't know that's what it was called, but that's what I was doing. I would just be going off a feeling, dude. I'd just be looking at price and be like, I think it's going to go up right here. Like I wasn't using any sort of confluences or anything. I didn't know. If you don't know, you don't know. This is a limoncello Lacroix. Pretty solid, flavored water, basically. Yeah, it's definitely solid. You should try it. That's true, Evan. Yeah, I think if you're using like 3 or 4 or 5 minis on a scalp, then that's what I watch. A guy named Rips. He trades order flow momentum, and it's basically like a version of scalping, in my opinion. That's what it looks like. But he'll trade a bunch of contracts at a time, and he's only looking for relatively small movements. But he kills it. Yeah. See, Nathan, whatever works, man. Any trades? Yeah, we did take a trade. We got stopped out. We were long. We were long. We were long up here, and then we were long off of this, and then got stopped out. Unfortunately, did that show on the chart? Yeah, it's all good though. We took a good trade in terms of my setup. So the thing is, we have this week filled with news, man. We got all kinds of good trading conditions. What appear will be good trading conditions coming up this week. We'll see how it actually plays out. So don't blow your wad today. Remember, today is Tuesday. Yesterday was, you should not really have been trading. Today's really the only first day of the week that you should be trading. Don't blow your wad if you're down. I'm my rules are if you lose a trade, if I lose a trade, I take one more trade, win or lose, and I'm done for the day. I don't try to win everything back. I don't focus on winning everything back that I've already lost. I just focus on taking a good setup and executing. Some people have said that, Celestial. Some people have said that. Yeah. Yeah, Pete, I just saw your message, man. RSI is also, I mean, when you use RSI, it was actually my buddy Brian, Mr. Nobody. He comes in here a lot. He pointed this out. It's not something I used to use, but like whenever it gets out of this range, you can't see my chart. There you go. So that's the RSI indicator at the bottom there. So when it ever peaks like this, you can pretty much take a short and expect it to go down. But it's not always, you know, right. But there's a good chance that you'll make a little bit of money on a scalp with that indicator. This is just dumping. Quick question. Ask away. Might have an answer. I did. I did pay for PJs, yeah, for a while. There's no telling, Zachary. I think it's heavily dependent on trade deals, and we got a lot of economic news, so to be dependent on that as well. So chopping, text chopping, yeah, I think it would help. Definitely worth checking out. If you don't like it, you can leave. You know what I mean? You're not. There's no commitment there. You can join it, join the free side, check it out. I think obviously the premium is way. There's way more value in that, and you get to watch him live trade every day where there's news. So I'm sure he was live this morning. He gets off now or a little before now. So what's up, DT? What's up, True? Uh, where do I get my economic news? Forex Factory. ForexFactory.com. Celestial, I usually cut it off right about now, 11:30 typically, because volume dies off until 1 or 1:30. But we'll see. We'll see. We're keeping an eye on things here. Evan, I would tend to, for me personally, I would tend to disagree because it's better to stick to a session, a specific session that you can get familiar with and get accustomed to the price action in that time frame. I mean, New York moves way differently than Asia, and it's all kinds of factors that go into it. For me personally, I like to stick between. I usually get on the charts around 8, and then start looking for real good setups around right after market open around 9:30, 9:45. But it's all, again, man, whatever I do doesn't mean that that's the only way to do things. So if you hear me say something like, if I disagree, I got 7 Apex accounts. My goal was 20 by the end of this month, but I'm close to passing the other 13 accounts. I have 13 evals going. Just need to pass them. It really depends, Anthony. It really depends. With Apex, you can pass them in a day. So, I don't try to over leverage and do that. But within, 3 or 4 days of having the eval, I'll pass it typically. Pass it or blow it. Ross, you can copy trade them on Trade of 8. Trade of 8. Yeah, man. No, no, it's not. You just connect. I mean, it's they have an easy setting in Trade of 8 that allows you to do that. You go to manage groups, and then you create a group, and add each account to it. They do, yeah. They do have interday. I've never traded Rhythmic, Pete. Never done that. Ben, I think you're safe for it. It looks like it wants to go down to these other lows here. That's the way it's acting. So I think you're good to hold that. There's not really anything. I mean, maybe this 30-second, if it inverts that to the upside, keep an eye, or maybe this level at 485 up here. But I think you're good to hold that for a little longer at least. But I've been wrong already today, so you do you. You're up more than I am. Yeah, Trader Bait's good. The executions are super quick. Uh, I like it. I like the copy trade you can do with it. True. Evan, you can do that on Tradeovate too, and a lot of people don't know that. You can go to the settings and then click on the risk management or risk settings, and you can set a daily loss limit. The problem with that is I've gotten screwed on it because it'll lock you out if you're in the middle of a trade. Yeah, yeah, you can do that. I think I do agree with you that the mechanism, Top Step's mechanism, and their implementation is easier to deal with. Uh, but that you do have the option on Tradeovate. Um, would I recommend Top Step? I would. I think Top Step is good. I think if you're consistently blowing evals, I would go with Apex because their evals are the cheapest. You know what I mean? So why pay the $50 when you can pay, like right now Apex, they have a sale running that ends tonight. The 50K eval is like $18.70 all in. So you still have a $140 activation fee that you have to pay if you pass. But if you're just blowing evals, I would find the cheapest eval. I think Alpha Funded Futures has some good deals going right now. It's like 79. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's around $79 for a 50K, and that is with no activation fee. So actually, that is the best, most cost-efficient way to do it right now is to do alpha funded futures. But Top Step is good because they're consistent, they're well known, they're well established. But there's they they've we've had some crap going on recently that I don't use them. This could be our move up here. I doubt it's going to get this close to these other levels and then just reverse. But this could be the move up. Hang on a second. I'm keeping an eye on this. We might take a small stab at this. Not yet, Ishmael. I would like to see a retest of this inversion and then a respecting of it. It's hard not to FOMO into this, but I don't want to. I'd like to get a retest. Yeah, Celestial, hang on. Let me keep an eye on this real quick. I don't like that. Let's see what this does, but I don't like that. Come on. Yeah, this is in Q. Did you catch that short? No. It stopped out on a long. This is the second trade, second and last trade of the day here. could at least get a move up there. That'd be nice. Be nice if we get a push up at least to there. Ideally, we'd make a move. I mean, this is a lot of. That would be nice. We'll see. We'll see. This is not moving like I would like. That doji is not what you want to see there. Be a hell of a move if we could push all the way up there, but that ain't happening. All right, Dixon. I hope you're short then, my man. You might be right. I appreciate your all of your input. Major counterkin trade. You're about to get liquidated. That OB will get inverted. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Appreciate the input. I love hearing the ideas. Because there was a 1 minute gap there and price closed above it right here. Yeah, this is not playing exactly how I'd want here. I'm not going to let that touch back. That just did not respect that inversion. I'm not going to take a chance on that. I did. Yeah, Tristan. Yeah. People that have never taken a payout in their life want to tell me how to trade. Exactly. Yeah, they got more to do with their time. That is a lot of buy side liquidity right there, man. That is just prime for the taking. I love you too. Explain your intraday trailing drawdown strategy with 2K. Are you talking about, is that with a funded or with an eval? Yeah, you could be right, Ja. definitely doesn't seem to want to do it right now. I mean, some of those guys were not wrong. Was it one of those guys said bearish trend? It is true. There is a bearish trend. There's bearish order flow here, but when you see a sweep and you see a setup, it's kind of hard to sit there and be like, okay, if this is meeting my criteria for a trade, why am I not taking it? You know. Yeah, we're all on the same team here. We're all trying to make money. $500 on TPT. I would do 500 for every 500 a drawdown that you have. I would want to do 1 micro. That's my strategy. For every 500 a drawdown, keeps you from blowing the account. And if you're taking A+ setups, that allows you to make a decent amount of money. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate that. Could you explain the 40% consistency rule? In terms of the payout or in terms of passing the eval? I think that just means you can't make 40% of the total target profit in one day. If you follow, I post plenty of stuff. You'll see it. You can pass Apex in a day. There is a consistency rule for the funded accounts for payouts, though. You can only take a payout every 8 days, minimum of $100. You have to have 5 days of $100 profit or more to be able to qualify, and you can only take it every 8 days, something like that. Yeah, my funded futures is good, man, and they got some good deals going on right now. I heard they made some changes and people are liking them. They lowered their target profit, I think, for some of their accounts, and they've done some cool stuff. Nice. Yeah, take it easy, take it slow, don't rush it, man. Don't over leverage. Don't risk too much. Don't risk more than you're comfortable with. If you're sweating through trades, you're over leveraged. I'm not taking another trade, but I'm going to mark this out for you guys. I might take it on paper, but this is shaping to be a setup. Yeah. It's all right, Tristan. Can't let it get to you. It could just keep going lower, man. It could. That's the thing. No one, unless they got a crystal ball that's telling them, no one truly knows. How do you get your drawings to change like that? What do you mean? This is an indicator that I have. I don't think I have any of these. But you can, if you're marking it out with the rectangle tool, you can come here and change the color of the background. Yeah, Tristan, I think you're good on that, man. To be honest, this is a beautiful setup. This was a setup I should have waited for here, but again, we still have New York AM low, New York PM low down below us, so this could want to take that first. So who knows what's about to happen? We're touching into a 15-minute gap. This is Nasdaq futures, and this is Trading View. Yeah, this is NQ. Good luck, Tristan. I see a rocket. See a rocket to the moon here. This is the 1 minute. Oh boy. Funded? If you could have gotten in on this tap back right here, that was beautiful. That would have been a solid entry. 2 fundeds, 2 evals, yeah. I don't even think I'm going to get an entry there. I'm just going to watch this. Okay, dude, that's a great entry right there. It's a solid entry. What's your target? My target would be, first TP would be, where is it? Probably these highs right here. Or here. Five, 586. Yeah. No, no, Ishmael, taking my 2 trades, man. I'm sticking to my rules. I'm just watching this. I would have taken this. I would have wanted to get in to the breaker down here. Hey, stick to your rules, Zachary. If you're done, man, be done. Uh, Kelly, if you were looking for where to get in, this would have been a good entry down here. We inverted the 2 and created a 1 minute. So you have a BPR right here, balanced price range, where you have a fair value gap matched over top of a fair value gap here. So that's where you would have wanted to get in. If you missed that one, top of this breaker would have been a good entry too. Not as good of a risk reward. This really is your best entry here. You got to remember the checklist, all right? So if you get the V-shaped recovery, you want to invert a gap or potentially create a gap and a retest of that gap before you enter the trade. If it runs out of the zone right here, that's kind of a late entry, and at that point you either wait for a retest or you let the trade run without you. Does that make sense? I'm talking to my girlfriend. She's in this trade, but she's new and figuring this stuff out, so she's texting me and I'm talking to her through the webcam. But I still think I would watch for this reaction off of this gap right here. If it starts to really push back, we'll see what happens. What we would really like to see is this 2 minutes to be in 30 seconds for this gap to get inverted. I think you're still pretty safe here to hold this. Absolutely, Brandon. Every morning when I get up, I do a full routine. I get down on the floor and I pray, not about trading and not about money or anything like that, but just thanking God for all the blessings that I have. That boy, Nathan. Kelly, I think you're good to keep holding this. We didn't invert the gap, but it looks like we're still wanting to push higher too. Order flow is looking good. It's looking bullish on the DOM. So just I would move your stops up. I think you said you're in it. You said you're in at 190, 194. That's a late entry, but I'd move your stop to, oh man, it's hard to say. Maybe below this 1 minute or below this 1 minute, or excuse me, 2 minute. Below one of these gaps. Depends on how much risk you're willing to take. You moved it right above break even. That's a tight gap, but it very well could come and retest this. But if you're above break even, at least you're not losing money. I don't have Bookmap open, man. I unsubscribed to it because I've been struggling so much to figure it out. I'm going to wait until I get a better handle on it to spend all that money. Yeah. Hey, Tristan, this could easily reject off this too and go lower. So I'm not going to speak too soon here. This is the 2 minute chart here. No, I took my 2 trades, man. I took 2 trades. We took 2 L's. I'm down, and I'm sticking to my rules. The rule is if I lose a trade, if I lose the first trade, I take 1 more trade, and win or lose, I'm done for the day. So I do have paper account signed into here. I might take a paper trade if it touches back into this or into this. Down 600 across 7 fundeds. Oh, you're right, Tristan. Yeah, I still think we're higher here. So no, funded with Apex and with Take Profit Trader. I am funded with Top Step, but I don't use their accounts anymore. I've taken my payouts and haven't used them since. Does it really, Cuban? I was wondering how long it would be until they the Lux Algo one. There it is. Does it matter what time frame? I mean, this is pretty solid right there. I'm trying to see if it's got any of them marked out. I'll have to check into that, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, Cuban. You've been back testing and paper trading. Yeah, Ja, I did see that they lowered it. It's 150 now, I think. 150 every 5 days. Do you recommend Apex or Top Step? It's all preference, man. I like Apex because you can have 20 accounts. So if you're a profitable trader and you want to try to maximize your payouts, I think that it's hard to not justify trying Apex. No, I'm not in this trade. We've taken our trades for the day. We're down. I would have gotten into this trade, but I'm not going to break my rules. You can't on TradingView, Cuban. You got to use Trade of 8. Exactly, Cuban. Yeah, I use TradingView to chart, and then I execute. I have a pretty large monitor, so I have half of it showing TradingView and half of it showing Trade of 8, and I execute on Trade of 8, and I chart over here on TradingView like you're seeing. It's one of five, so it's only marked out one of the five that have showed up. Nathan, yeah, it might have tighter criteria, or just be it might have trouble. You just get stopped out. You just get stopped out. I do have it linked. I do have it linked, Joey. When I'm in a trade, you will definitely see it. I'm not in this. I took 2 already and got my butt whooped. So my rule is if I lose one trade, I take one more, and win or lose, I'm out. So I lost it. I did a lot of back testing with the indicator this weekend, and it seems like 15-minute gives really accurate. Okay. Yeah. I'll check it. I'll check it out on. I'll do some back testing this afternoon, Cuban, and I'll check it out. You were on the 1 minute, 1-1, and lost 5. Yeah. The entry for this would have been so beautiful down here on that tap back. Oh, Cuban, for sure, man. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you telling me about it. JR, that could be the move. I think with this, based on this structure right. Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't showing. Based on this structure right here, I mean, it was a good setup for a long. We had a sweep. You had a breaker. You had a 2-minute fair value gap here on the way down. It got inverted, but also it created a 2-minute fair value gap on the way up. So you had a balanced price range right here. And that's pretty good. That's a pretty good support level. So the long was, even if you had taken it right here and gotten out up there, I think you're looking at 20-something points. Is that what that is? Oh, more than that, man. You're looking at 54 points right there. So that's a good trade. But you could be right at this point. It looks like we're rejecting off of that 2-minute. And it could very well go lower. You still have liquidity levels lower. No, it's 2K for the first 5 payouts, Ja. On a 50K account, it's 2K. On a, I'm not sure about the other ones. I know the next level up is 2,500 is the max, but it's 2K for a 50K account every 8 days. Dude, that if you've gotten a payout, Torres, that's amazing, man. Nathan, take it easy, man. Just saw that. Congratulations. I think you said you're up on the day, so good job. Yeah, Torres, if you're I think that's how you say your name. If you're taking a payout or you've gotten a payout, you've already accomplished something that like 97% of other traders never accomplish. So that's huge, man. That's a huge accomplishment. Congrats. And you also got over that mental hurdle. There's some sort of mental hurdle with getting a payout that once you kind of break through that hurdle, things will take off. Just be patient and don't change what you're doing. Just stay consistent. Exactly, Ja. Exactly. That's 40K every 8 days. So you can get basically 3 payouts a month and be sitting there cooking. No, the data should come with the prop firm. Check your prop firm. It should come. The data should come with it. So when you sign into your prop firm account in TradingView, it should activate the data. I use Apex and Take Profit Trader, Connor. I go to UNC. Christ is king. You better believe it. Yeah, Take Profit's nice, man, with the daily payouts. They limit you to 5 funded accounts at a time, but I mean, if your risk management is proper and all that, you can take some serious money off of them. I don't know about a 5-second delay. I know that if you don't have data, it's a 15-minute delay, but I have live data and I'm with Apex right now, so I don't think I might pay for data with TradingView. I don't know. Cuban, I would say look into that. Don't quote me on it. Bro, if you don't have doubters, you're not doing something right. You're not dreaming big enough, man. You got to have that. Don't focus on it too much, but if you do focus on it, only focus on it to use it as fuel. Don't let it discourage you. If people aren't laughing at your dreams, you're not dreaming big enough, man. Dre, you need live data so that your market's up to date. They want you to pay for it because it's not free. You know what I mean? Like TradingView, they're paying for that data to come from the mercantile exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So they need to cover their costs. So they charge people for live data. If you don't pay for it or you don't have it provided through a prop firm with your account, then the data is like 15 minutes delayed. I have tried TopStep. Yeah, TopStep's fine, man. TopStep's not a bad firm. I've never run into any issues with them. I don't use them currently, but I have used them before. It's a solid dump right there. All right, Ja. Good to see you, man. Take it easy. Tristan, you took profit up at 514. Is that what you said? You basically top ticked that. I mean, you got out right at the top. So have a blessed day. Take it easy. Ishmael, it's up to you. I think the 50Ks are the easiest to pass. Some people don't like it because some people don't like 50K accounts in general because there's not as much drawdown. But I think overall, 50Ks are the easiest to stack. They're the most cost efficient. Um, you know, you can pass them pretty quick. So it's about personal preference, really. Target profit is more reasonable. All right, John. Let's see if it plays out. Are you short off of this 1 minute? Some people believe that, man. And again, from my experience, I can only speak to my own preferences. I'm not saying that my word isn't necessarily gospel. I it depends on your trading style. Like some people really do. I think PB Trades. I saw one of his videos. He's a 150K guy. Because he likes the flexibility of the drawdown. I think it goes up to like 4,500 or something. But and I think your target profit is like $9,000 though. So that's a bigger target profit. Yeah, you have more wiggle room and drawdown, but with a larger target profit, you have to take more trades and potentially more losses. So for sure, Cuban. Hey, just don't try to force it, man. It'll come with time, with sticking to your rules and taking good setups and not focusing on the money. The passing and taking payouts is a byproduct of that. So you're on the right track, man. You're putting in the work. So keep doing what you're doing. Did you have a job? Yeah, I worked for a law firm for a while. I've done all kinds of jobs, man. I was a mechanic for a long time, but most recently I worked for a law firm. And then I didn't stop because I was profitable. I stopped because of school, and I wanted to focus on school. But in the process of stopping, and I've been trading for 2 years, so in the process of stopping that and starting school, I started making a lot of money trading. So I was like, this is God coming in clutch yet again. No, Luca, I'm not. No, we've taken two trades on the day, and I lost both of them. I got stopped out. Um, but if I was in this trade, I would have been long off of this touchback right here. This is a good setup for a touchback. It's just a question of if that was the whole move or if it's going to go higher and it's just retracing right now. TV static. I've been sober for 3.5 years, and before I got sober, I did not like LaCroix at all. But now I enjoy them. I drink them probably more than I should. You can use an indicator to spot a fair value gap, but if you're asking what makes a fair value gap, I can explain that pretty easily here. So you see where, let me get this off. So where it takes a 3 candle combination to make a fair value gap. So you have the first candle right here, then you have this middle candle, and then this third candle. You can see how the wick comes down right here. It doesn't fully take out the body of this middle candle. Same with this first candle. The wick comes up and it doesn't fully fill this body. Well, that space in between this wick and this wick would be the fair value gap. So in this case, it's a 5-minute fair value gap. So if you don't have an indicator, you can spot it like that. That would have been the breaker from earlier. Price is meandering at the moment. Could be looking to dip lower. Yeah, for sure. Should we be bullish after tapping into the FEG? That would be beautiful, man. I think if it's going to continue long, it's going to reject off of this space right here and go higher. But you still have liquidity levels underneath here, and this was all low resistance liquidity. So I would want to take some of that out. You would think the market would want to take some of that out, but it could just die off and go lower. You got a solid 3-minute gap perfectly inside of this breaker here. Two, this is Trading View. This is what I'm charting on. And then I execute on Tradeovate, which is a quicker execution platform. But if I'm in a trade, which I'm not, and I won't be today, because I've already taken two, you'll see it on this chart. I'll show all my trades that I take, win or lose. You'll get to witness the onslaught. This isn't a coin. This is NASDAQ futures. I do not trade crypto like that. Yeah, this is a unicorn. This is definitely a unicorn. Yeah, you can connect it. You have to give it permission. So if you're in Tradeovate, you go to your settings. As soon as mine will open. Yep. And then where it says add-ons, click add-ons, and then TradingView is the first one there. You click active or activate. And then at that point, you can sign into your Tradeovate account or your prop firm, whatever prop firm account it is, on TradingView. Barbie, I appreciate the follow. Why is it called a unicorn? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I really don't know. It is a silly name. Maybe because it's rare. I would say probably because it's rare. Like it's a high percentage setup. Typically, it's a high percentage setup. Yeah. But I feel like I've been seeing them more and more. I've also seen them fail more and more recently for some reason. I'll take a paper trade with you guys off of this. Tristan. Are you long here, Tristan? Mike Millie, thank you for your input there, brother. I have gone through that series multiple times. So, multiple times. You think I'd know the setup and know the name and haven't watched the video? I don't understand this. Do people really have nothing? They're so miserable in their own lives that they feel the need to join a random TikTok live and try to talk crap. Let's go look at your profile, Mike. Let's take a look as a group here. Let's take a look. As a team here, we'll review your quality content. All right, enough of that. Is this ICT strategy? Yeah, it is. 2 years it reigns. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This is paper. Ishmael, this is paper. This is paper. I am done. I'm done with my I'm not trading evals or fundeds. I'm down, so I stick to the rules. Do my best. What ICT indicators you using? I don't really. I mean, I guess the fair value gap indicator is technically an ICT concept. I guess, but just it's ICT more just the strategy, the principles that you go by. I don't necessarily. I don't like to rely on indicators. I like to use the fair value gap indicator to quickly spot things that I might miss just by looking at it. But I don't rely on them. Pete, I'm trying to track you, bro. Or is it a Lux Algo? Lux Algo is like a maker of indicators. They make some good stuff. But again, I don't rely on indicators like that. Yeah, Reigns. Is this Nasdaq? Yeah, it's Nasdaq futures. I don't know, Benny. I really don't know, man. It's I've been wrong twice today, so don't fully rely on me. This trade would be ideal typically, but it's not playing out. I'm glad that this is paper, by the way. How do I manage losses? You just got to walk away, man. I mean, if you're at the point where you struggle to FOMO, switch to paper like this. Like this, I don't give. This could bottom could fall out of this, and I'm perfectly fine. So, switch to paper. I think it's just for you, Jimmy. Paper like this is when you have TradingView, they give you a paper trading account, which is just fake. It's just like $100,000 of fake money, just electronic money. Yeah, this is Dre. This is paper right here. This is fake. This is I've taken my two trades unfunded. We're down 600 on the day off of two trades. It's a stick to the rules. Lose one trade, take one more, win or lose, and you're done. Tristan, don't go on tilt, man. You know better than that. Be disciplined. Think in the long term. We got a lot of news coming up this week. Each trading day is pretty chock full of news. Is it a long process? No, it's not. In terms of like from the time you request until you hit your account, that varies based on the firm. But with Apex, it's like a day. Um, take profit is about the same. My funded futures, I've heard, has some of the quickest payouts. That's pretty like instantaneous. But with Apex, you can only take a payout every 8 days. So Apex Parka. The full name is Apex Funded Trader or Apex Trader Funding, something. Apex Trader Funding. Hang on, I got you. Yeah, this is paper. DJ, this is paper. This is a paper trade. This is long right here, but it's clearly struggling. You're capped at 2K payouts. Uh, at one time, the most I've taken is five 2K payouts at a time. At one time, You trading personal capital, Mark? I thought I had Blue Sky saved. I think they're a personal capital firm, right? Prop firm and personal. Okay. I didn't know they did prop. I know that a lot of people use them for their personal capital. Take Profit Trader does same day payouts. I like them. I use them too. Got out of that long. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, it is just consolidating. You got to remember it's lunchtime right here, so until about 1:30. Can trade news as well. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Now, Blue Sky's good. I think that their evals are more expensive if they do have them. I know that they're seen as like a top tier personal capital firm, so I would imagine that their props are not cheap. If they do, I didn't even know they did props. What's an eval cost? 150 for 200 for a good size eval, and is it straight to funded or is it you got to? Oh, it's an eval, so it's not straight to funded. Yeah, interesting. I've heard AMP is a good one too, but I don't think they do props. I think that's only personal capital. Yeah, I got out of that. Yeah, that was paper. Also, that was a paper trade. Also, so this consolidation. The reason I closed it, I'd realized it's 12:30, so this is lunch hour. This consolidation is probably just going to go on. Yeah, I don't know why that's so weird. I don't know why people. I'm not even like a major streamer. Why you would try to, or a major trader even. Why people would make fake accounts, try to copy my stuff. Yeah, for anyone in here, I do not sell a course. I do not ask about crypto. I don't ask anything from anyone, dude. So if you ever get an account with my name and my picture hitting you up about something, it ain't me. If they're asking for money, I don't hit people up like that. I don't hit people up unless I get hit up first and ask. You can ask me questions, but I don't hit people up. So if any of that's happening to you, ain't me. Would you say you're profitable? I have been for the past this month is my third month profitable, like making a substantial amount of money. Not just taking payouts. I mean, I've taken payouts before, but for the past this is the third month of solid payouts, of consistent solid payouts. 2 years. What made you get into trading? Or into this trade? Well, you got a nice inversion or a nice you had a sweep down here, you got a breaker, you had a V-shaped recovery, you had a fair value, you had a 2 minute fair value, was it 2 or 3? 3 minute fair value gap here inside of the breaker. I think we also had a BPR, which was a fair value. Yeah, we had a 2 minute BPR here. So you had a 2 minute made 2 minute fair value gap on the way down, and then on the way up it inverted it, but it also made a 2 minute fair value gap on top of that inversion. So that's a strong confluence, strong support level there. So you want to that is really good for a trade. So it was 52-point move if you had gotten in on this touchback. I think that's what we said. Yeah, 53-point move on that touchback. So that would have been a solid trade. I would have, if I was actually in from that move, I would have had stops probably right about here. In case it pushed back, I would have taken off part of the position up here on this high, touching into that 2 minute gap. So that would have been a good trade. All right, Pete, take it easy, man. Thanks for coming by. I'm live every day, Jay. Every day where there's red folder news, I plan on trading and being live. Hey, no worries. I appreciate you staying that long. I'll be on tomorrow. I hope you have a good day, man. Thanks for tuning in. Nah, we're down today, man. Unfortunately, we took two L's. Took two L's and called it a day on that. Unfortunate, but it happens. We got a week chock full of news, so I'm not too bummed. Yeah, TikTok's not flagging my stuff, so hopefully that stays that way for a while. Do I think we go up? Potentially. I don't know. We tapped into that BPR and got a little rejection off of it. We'll see if it wants to go lower. We do have liquidity down here, and it seemed like all day price wants to go lower. So I'd say, a betting man would say probably, but based on this structure right here, this move higher was nice. Now we've just completely died off back in. So what quote are you talking about, Charlie? I think if this BPR gets disrespected, then yeah, we're going lower. Oh, this is Nasdaq futures. Sorry, Nasdaq futures. Aren't they 10 minutes behind? Now, if you have delayed data, if you don't have live data, then you're 15 minutes behind. This is live data. I do use high time frame. We use that to get a bias. Yep, we do. That's the way we start our day. I appreciate that, Ansh. I appreciate that, man. I really do. What should you switch to? I like TradingView, man. I really do like TradingView. Yeah, weren't we tapping into a 4 hour on the, yeah, we're in a 4 hour here. So we're in a lot of high time frame bullish PD arrays. 30-minute is what we're sitting in right here. Yeah, so you would think it would want to go up, but it's tapping into this BPR right here. If it respects it, could go higher. If it disrespects it, we're going to go lower. Yeah, you can place your trades on TradingView. I don't highly recommend it because there's slippage. So what I do is I chart on TradingView and then I execute on Trade So I have a pretty large monitor. So I have half the monitor is TradingView, half the monitor is Trade. Appreciate the follows, by the way. Thank you for that. It does seem that we want to push lower here. We'll see where this 2-minute closes in 30 seconds. I'm not familiar with MetaTrader 5. I started on MetaTrader 4 trading when I was trading Forex and stuff. So I'm familiar with like the platform, but I wasn't even really competent when I was using that, man. So I can't really say. How does it work with a prop firm? So the way that it works is use Trade-of-8 to sign into your prop firm. And then you go into the Trade-of-8 settings and give TradingView permission. You activate TradingView, and then you can use your prop firm login to log in. You click on TradingView, you go down and you click the trade icon, and then you click on Trade-of-8 as the brokerage you want to use, and you can just use your prop firm login that you use for Trade-of-8. You can use it on TradingView, and it'll show your trades, you know. I just would make sure that you have Trade-of-8 open so you can execute on there, because there is slippage on TradingView. Edison, I would not recommend that. We just disrespected this BPR and inverted the 2-minute that was inside of it. So I would not necessarily recommend longing, but you can do what you want, man. Honestly, I personally, like I said, I personally wouldn't recommend it, but I've been wrong twice today. So clearly I'm not seeing price the way I should, or it's just not respecting the way I expect it to go. Yeah, that's how I do it with mine. Yeah. Edison, if you're down, man, that's a lot to be down. I'd call it a day, bro. I'm down 600 and I'm not taking another trade. You just got to eat the L and move on. You got a week full of good news coming up, so don't blow your wad. Don't blow your accounts. Yeah, of course. Is Fidelity a good brokerage? I don't think that you can do this kind of, like, not with prop firms. You're talking about maybe for personal capital, and even then I'd use Thinkorswim, but or Amped or something else. But I would not. I don't know much. I don't think Fidelity is tailored to this sort of trading. No, I'm not. I'm down 600 unfunded on the day. If you're new and you're consistently blowing evals, I would recommend uh, Apex, because the Apex or Alpha Funded Futures have the cheapest evals in the game right now with a discount code. Any of the creators that you come across on here will have a code that you can use. Dante, I trade funded accounts. I'm not sure about Forex, to be honest with you. 64.17. You're talking about on ES? If you're long from there, man, you basically got in right at. How are you long? 64.14. Is that what you said? 64. Oh, 2. Okay, my bad. I misread that. Sorry. I thought you said you were long up there. I was like, probably wasn't bad if you got in off of this respecting of this inversion here. Yeah, if you got in right here on this dip and you're targeting that high at 64.15ish, then probably all right. You're about to have to push through this 2-minute here, which it looks like it might do. Yeah, I think that's probably not a bad trade there. Yeah, Dante, that's one of my rules too, man. Yeah, Luca, we're just looking here, man. I'm about to call it a day here in a minute. Nah, no more trades for the day. Took our two, and we're gonna go home with our legs between our legs, our tail between our legs. No, I'm actually not upset. KWT, no. Hey, you guys, if you want to learn some good stuff, you want some absolute knowledge and discipline example, give KWT a follow. KWT helped me out a lot. KWT in the chat. Let's keep it civil. Let's keep it civil. Keep it civil. Appreciate the gifts. Appreciate that. No, I know who you're talking about. Tristan's an OG though. I think he knows what he's talking about. I would give him a little more deference than that. Hey man, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. I just didn't want to. I'll talk to you about it off stream. I'll talk to you about it off stream. But I'm still around. I'm still lurking. I'm still there, bro. How long you said you're gonna wait to make your decision with the real estate thing? You mean in terms of investing? Is that what you're talking about? I'd like to wait. I mean, I'd really like to wait for interest rates to drop first. There's multiple different theories to that. You could, it's there's people who say date the rate and marry the price, meaning that even if the rates are high and you can get a good price, that you can refinance once the rates drop and you're actually in a better position. But I would really like the rates to drop before I buy something, at least a little bit, which I think will be soon. I'd say within the next 6 months to a year, I should be pulling the trigger on some stuff. I think that's the smartest thing to do for people who are taking profits. If they can, if they're actually profitable, taking their winnings and reinvesting it into things that make more money rather than just going out and buying, you know, buying random things. I plan on buying a nice car at some point, but I want to establish a nice real estate portfolio first so that I, you know, have some things making more money for me besides just trading. Yeah. Are you looking to buy like land and develop a house? Or are you looking to just buy something, uh, as is and move in ready or what? Yeah, that's true. Tristan, the plan wouldn't be. I mean, Section 8 is pretty interesting. I've done a lot of research on that, and I have some buddies who have been very successful doing that. My goal would be to buy land and develop and sell. I have somebody in my family who does that for a living, and they make a good amount of money. So I would rely on their guidance and be going that route. Yeah, the guy who I know who was really successful, one of my buddies, he uh, he started his Section 8 stuff in Pennsylvania when he was living up there. So I think New York is probably good for it too. Yeah, I can talk about that once I know. I'm still educating myself on a lot of that stuff, man. I'm new to it. I'm very new to it. So um, once I start getting more involved in it and learning the ropes a little bit, I would definitely talk about it. I would love to. Yeah, that's something I haven't found a good answer to. That's a great question. It's something that I've been trying to figure out. I think they want to see an established income, but I also plan on paying cash for the initial property, and then I can use the property as leverage to get a loan for a building loan. Uh, so that's something that that's a bridge that I'm gonna have to cross when I get there, because that's a great question, and it's one that I have also. It's not like I have a pay stub that I can show them. I mean, I can give them bank statements, but I don't know how they'll view. I want to establish, right now I only have 3 months worth. So I think 6 months to a year, when I have that kind of track record of consistent payments every single 8 days or 5 days or whatever, I think they'll potentially look on that more favorably, especially if I have something to borrow against. Commercial real estate is the move. Yeah. The guy who I know who started in Section 8, he doesn't really do that anymore. He does commercial real estate and residential. But his big money makers are commercial real estate deals. I'm just trying to get my feet in the door, because right now I have, my I'm not working with a whole lot over here, so. It depends, man. It really depends. I don't want to spend more than like 500 on the land. I'd like to cap it around there on the land itself, and then maybe another 5 or 6 into the build of the house. I think that's the high end, but I think it's going to be tough with no. I have no you know no uh, track record for the bank to go off of. So I don't know why they would, unless I have just a lot of cash on hand, which I hope I have, and some stuff to leverage against. I think that's what I need. So maybe I'd have to start smaller. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure all that out. Yeah, I mean the family member I have that does it. Most of his builds are anywhere from 1-1 to 1-4, and he makes a pretty good margin on that. And they sell quick because of the location. So I'd sell it. Yeah, it would be something that I would build and sell. Yeah. I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine that unless you have like a lot of, uh, your bank statements show a consistent large amount of payouts, then even then, I'm sure I'm gonna have to shop around. Yeah, I do this full time. This is the 1 minute. This is the 1 minute. I wouldn't say, Dre. I wouldn't get too caught up on like what's the best. The higher time frames are good for establishing a bias, and then you want to drop down to the lower time frames to kind of get an idea of where you're going to enter and where your targets are. But if you have some like large PD arrays on the higher time frame, like this is on the 4 hour, and we're sitting inside of a bullish 4 hour fair value gap. Those sorts of things are good to pay attention to, because this is a lot of upward pressure here with this fair value gap, theoretically. So I would say make sure you're paying attention to the higher time frame PD arrays, and then chart and try to get your entry on a lower time frame. but your setup can present itself on you know any of these lower time frames. They're not clear. Like that's a clear breaker right there, but then you go to a different time frame and it maybe isn't as clear. You know what I mean? So you just got to bounce around. Yeah, Tristan, that's good. That's a good rule of thumb. Yeah, S corp I think is the way to go, Tristan. I think for tax purposes and legitimacy, the S corp is, from what I'm, the research that I've done, that's the best way to go. Hey, John, dude, I'm proud of you for taking a trade, man. Don't think that I have all the answers over here because I don't. I don't. If you're taking a trade that's counter to what I'm doing, that doesn't. I don't think that's. I'm not sitting here saying that I have this crazy savant approach to this stuff. PJ Trades is the man. I do know him. Yeah, I'm not usually. I'm gonna hop off here at 1, but yeah, I'm definitely not usually live this long. This actually was my gym account. That's why I had all these followers. I deleted all my gym content and switched it over to a trading account. But this was my gym account. Yeah. Appreciate the follows, by the way. I don't know, man. I might. I'll post on my stories. I don't know if I'll post any like actual gym videos. I might. Yeah, it is. I have a bunch of videos right now created that I haven't edited just because it's so like it's pretty tedious, man. KWT, you taking a trade today? You waiting for PM? What time am I live? I'm 9:30 every day. Every day that there's Red Folder News, I go live. Yeah, I mean, I gained traction really fast when I was doing the gym content, man. It blew up pretty fast. I mean, 10,000 is not a lot, but that's, you know, I used to do that. It just attracts an audience that I think I've said this before. You might be hearing it for the first time, but it attracted an audience and gained attention that I really didn't want uh, in terms of who was watching my stuff and commenting and making comments and stuff. So maybe it was the way that I was presenting my content that came across receptive of that sort of thing, but that was one of the main reasons I stopped doing it. King Dobbin, Kai Dobbins, K Dobbins. I trade ICT strategy. Yeah, some of that. I appreciate that, KWT. You're the man. I appreciate that, man, a lot. Yeah, Dre. Check out the. And if you guys want to, where I learned most of my stuff since KWT's commenting, I give most of the credit, almost all of it, to the PJ Trades Discord, especially the discipline and the psychology, getting that under control. It's unmatched. And KWT, he trades. He leads the PM session, trading session, live in that Discord, in the on the paid side. So if you're looking for more content and want to watch somebody trade with discipline and effectiveness, you guys should check that out. Check out joining that Discord. Should I full port my funded? Absolutely not. But you know, who am I? Who am I to say otherwise? It's not free, Dre. Well, there is a free side. There is a free side, but there is a paid side also. The free side you probably benefit from as well. Um, but the there it's go look up on Instagram PJ, or on TikTok PJ Trades, and he links his Discord in there. I have seen. I did. I got whacked twice. I took two trades and called it a day. That's my rule. My rule is, if I take one trade and I lose, I take one more. Win or lose, I'm out. So we lost the second trade also. We're down 600. Called it a day. Saint, yeah, I am. I would say, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got the whole week, man. We got the whole week, and we got uh yeah, the one and done is the key, man. If you take a trade and you win, call it a day. Don't give it back. Don't let them take it from you. Full port long scalp. It is. You'll give me a pass today and take three. Nah, I can't do it, man. Look, I can tell you, these I don't put these rules into place on myself because they're fun or that they're easy. I put them in place because if I don't follow them, I will lose money. And I've had, trust me, I've had times where I have these rules and I break them, and I always, I mean, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I regret it. So rather than spending the rest of the day kicking myself about why didn't you stick to your rules, I'd rather have peace of mind and keep going along with my day, and not be kicking myself. Yeah, I got rules. I got them listed out right here. Long off that inversion would have been nice right down there. Uh, Only trade during the kill zone, which is 9:30 to 11:30, maybe 12:30. Uh, Stop trading for the day after two losses. Stop trading immediately once you hit daily profit target, which some people argue against that. But I think that's basically the same for me as saying one trade and done, one winning trade and done. If you lose a trade, take a walk before taking another trade. You got to not immediately jump back in. Only take trades that follow the defined setup that I have. Uh, Absolutely. KWT, it puts a mirror up to whatever issues you have, you'll find out. Never adjust your stop loss mid trade unless you're just moving it up, to take profit levels. Don't widen it. Never widen it. Journal every single trade after the session's over with. Full pour right after. If you feel FOMO, revenge trade, or mental fatigue, step away. Take 15 minutes away from the charts. If it's really bad, I shut it down for the day. If you feel the urge to click buttons, switch over to paper. And I'm probably going to add more to that as time goes on, but those are the ones that I have right now. One contract on M&Q, you're risking $2 per point on M&Q. Is that right? Yeah. $2 per point or per dollar movement. So, yeah, Alexander, we're not taking the trade here, bro. It's actually one where I am. Tristan's funny. I think he's joking. I don't know, though. Absolutely, Tristan, yeah. Yeah, it's huge. There you go. I would have been long. I was long off, or I would have been up. I was long off of this, wasn't I? Or somewhere in here. Um, absolutely, the connection with God and making Him the center of everything that you do, win or lose, is the most important thing. Exactly, Saint. All right, guys, it's one. I got to go eat. Got to hit the gym. Got to be a productive human. So I'll be back tomorrow on here. Exactly. Never lose with God. Amen. I'll be back on here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., maybe a little before that. I appreciate you guys coming in here. God bless you guys. Be safe. Thank you. Thank you. You too.